Modern dating feels like navigating a minefield blindfolded. The endless swiping, the sudden ghosting, the confusing situationships, it all creates a constant hum of anxiety. But what if you could find a way to step through that chaos with unshakable calm and crystal clear purpose? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism, practiced by Roman emperors and thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, offers exactly that. This video reveals 25 powerful Stoic answers that will completely reframe your approach to romance. You will gain a timeless framework to build genuine resilience, a stronger sense of self-worth, and the ability to form connections that are deep and meaningful, not just convenient. We will explore how teachings from 2,000 years ago can be transformed into practical strategies for your love life today. How can a philosophy centered on accepting what you cannot control possibly help in the high-stakes world of modern romance? At the heart of Stoic wisdom lies a single, transformative distinction. It is the clear line between what is within your power and what is not. In the turbulent world of dating, this principle becomes your anchor. You have zero control over another person's feelings, their swipes, their decision to text back, or their emotional availability. But you possess absolute command over your own intentions, your efforts, and your conduct. This is not about becoming passive, but about focusing your energy where it truly matters. Instead of tying your peace of mind to an outcome you cannot command, like a match responding to your message, you anchor it to your own virtuous action. You focus on crafting a kind and genuine message. You choose to ask someone out with clarity and respect. The result, whether a yes or a silence, is simply not your department. This shift is profound. It dismantles the anxiety that comes from trying to manage the uncontrollable. You are no longer on a roller coaster dictated by every notification or lack thereof. Your worth is no longer outsourced to a stranger's thumb. You act with integrity because it is the right thing to do, not because it is a transaction to earn a specific reward. This inner stability, this quiet confidence in your own choices, is the very foundation upon which healthy connections are built. It allows you to engage with others from a place of wholeness, not neediness. So the next time you feel that familiar tension while waiting for a reply, pause. Ask yourself, did I act with honesty and kindness? If the answer is yes, then your job is complete. The outcome is now in the hands of fortune, and your peace remains intact. This radical acceptance of what you cannot control naturally leads to a second, even more powerful Stoic practice. It is called amor fati, a Latin phrase that translates to a love of one's fate. This is not about passively enduring your dating life. It is about actively embracing every single part of it, the exhilarating first dates and the cringe-worthy rejections, as essential threads in the tapestry of your life. The Stoics believed that to resist any part of your experience is to resist the universe itself, creating unnecessary suffering. Amor fati invites you to see every awkward silence, every ghosting, and every heartbreak not as a failure, but as a crucial piece of data and a chance to build resilience. Think of the last time you felt a date went terribly wrong. Your instinct might be to delete the app, to lament the wasted evening, to replay every misstep. But amor fati asks a different question. What did this experience teach you about what you truly need? Did that person's lack of curiosity reveal how much you value deep conversation? Did their flakiness solidify your own commitment to reliability? Every single interaction, especially the difficult ones, carves your understanding of a compatible partner with greater clarity. They are not setbacks, they are corrections. Even a painful breakup, which feels like an ending, can be the very event that redirects you toward a relationship that aligns with your core values. That heartbreak forced you to grow in ways you never would have if you had stayed comfortable. It made you stronger, more self-aware, and ultimately ready for the right person. Amor fati transforms your entire narrative. You are no longer a victim of a cruel dating world, but the protagonist of your own story, learning and evolving with every single chapter, especially the challenging ones. This mindset cultivates a profound gratitude that shields you from bitterness. When you can look back at a string of disappointments and feel genuine thanks for the lessons they imparted, you have unlocked a superpower. You become unstoppable not because you never face rejection, but because you have learned to love the journey, bumps and all. This powerful embrace of fate prepares you for a third, equally vital Stoic skill, one that protects you from a very specific kind of pain. Our minds are storytellers, constantly weaving narratives from the barest threads of evidence. In dating, this often means we mistake a powerful first impression for the whole truth. You meet someone and feel an undeniable spark. Their first message is perfectly charming. Your mind, hungry for connection, instantly starts writing the rest of the story. It imagines a future, assigns them qualities they have not yet earned, and paints a picture of a perfect, lasting partnership. The Stoics called this being swept away by an initial impression, and they practiced a crucial discipline called withholding assent. This simply means you do not have to immediately believe every compelling story your mind creates. That intense attraction is not a verdict on their character, it is just a feeling, a piece of data. It is an impression, not yet reality. The reality is what you can observe with calm, objective clarity. What are their consistent actions? How do they treat other people? What do their choices reveal about their values? The fantasy is the story you tell yourself about how perfectly they fit into your life. The practice is to pause when you feel that powerful pull. Acknowledge the spark, but then consciously step back. Examine the facts as if you were a detective assembling evidence. Do their words align with their behavior over time? Are they genuinely curious about you, or are they just performing a role? This mental exercise is not about becoming cynical or cold. It is about granting yourself the space for rational decision-making. It prevents you from investing your heart in a fantasy, only to be devastated when the real person, with all their beautiful flaws and complexities, inevitably fails to match the idealized version you created. By learning to differentiate between the impression and the reality, you stop setting yourself up for disappointment. You start choosing partners based on a clear-eyed assessment of their character, not on the intoxicating and often misleading thrill of a first impression. This clarity becomes your most trusted guide in a world filled with compelling illusions. This ability to see reality clearly is what allows you to build something real, something that lasts beyond the initial spark. A lasting connection requires a foundation, and for the Stoics, that foundation was always virtue. The most central command of Stoicism is to live in accordance with nature, which means living a life of reason and virtue. In the context of your romantic life, this translates to a single, powerful question. What are the core values that form the bedrock of your character? These are not your preferences for a certain sense of humor or a shared hobby. These are the deeper virtues like honesty, loyalty, kindness, and mutual respect. They are your non-negotiables. Modern dating often pulls us in the opposite direction. We are conditioned to prioritize the external, to swipe right for a perfectly curated profile picture, to be dazzled by a prestigious job title, or to settle for less than we deserve out of a quiet fear of being alone. But a relationship built on these shifting sands is destined to crumble. Physical attraction fades, social status can change overnight. The fear of loneliness is a terrible architect, building shaky structures that cannot withstand the first real storm. A partnership anchored in shared virtue is different. It is resilient. When you both fundamentally value honesty, conflicts become conversations aimed at understanding, not battles to be won. When loyalty is a shared principle, you feel secure knowing you are on the same team. This is what it means to align your dating life with your nature. It is about seeking a partner whose character complements your own. Take a moment to actually write down your short list of essential virtues. What 3 or 4 qualities are absolutely non-negotiable for a life partner? Keep that list close on your phone or in a notebook. Let it become your compass. When you are swiping, pause and look past the photos. Read their bio for clues about their character. On a date, listen not just for shared interests, but for evidence of these core values. Do their stories demonstrate kindness? Do their actions show respect for you and others? This practice transforms dating from a chaotic search for validation into a purposeful journey toward a genuine meeting of minds and hearts. You are no longer just looking for a date. You are seeking a fellow traveler who shares your map for a good life. Rejection in dating feels like a door slammed in your face, a verdict on your worth. But Stoicism offers a radically different perspective, captured in a powerful mantra: the obstacle is the way. This principle teaches us that the very barrier standing in our path, in this case romantic rejection, is not a blockade but the path forward itself. When someone turns you down or a promising connection fades, your first instinct might be to retreat, to internalize the pain as proof you are not enough. But what if you paused and reframed that moment? The obstacle is the way. This rejection is not a stop sign, it is a detour sign, redirecting you away from a path that was not meant for you and toward one that is. Every no you receive is actually saving you a tremendous amount of time and emotional energy. It reveals a fundamental incompatibility early, before you invested months or even years in a relationship destined to falter. Think of it as the universe doing you a favor, clearing the clutter from your path so you can see the right opportunity more clearly. But the real power lies in how you use this obstacle. The way forward is to actively transform this painful experience into fuel for your own growth. The next time you face a rejection, do not just delete the conversation and try to forget it. Engage in a simple, practical Stoic exercise. Take 5 minutes to reflect with calm honesty. Ask yourself, what can this teach me about my own expectations? Did I overlook an early sign of misalignment because I was too eager? Was my communication clear, or could I have expressed my interest with more authenticity? This is not about blaming yourself, but about gathering data. Every piece of feedback, even the silent kind, is valuable intelligence. This process builds a resilience that is far more attractive than never facing disappointment. It is the difference between someone who is bruised by every setback and someone who is polished by them, emerging with more grace, self-awareness, and strength. By treating rejection as your training ground, you stop fearing it. You begin to see it as an essential part of the journey, the very friction that sharpens your edge and prepares you for the connection that will not require you to bend out of shape to fit. This practice of transforming rejection into a training ground is strengthened by a powerful mental exercise the Stoics called premeditatio malorum. It is the disciplined rehearsal of potential misfortunes. In the world of dating, this means calmly and deliberately considering the very things you fear most. Imagine for a moment sending a thoughtful message and receiving no reply. Picture a date you are excited about canceling at the very last minute. Envision a promising connection fading away without explanation. This is not an invitation to dwell in gloom or to expect the worst from everyone you meet. It is a strategic form of emotional inoculation. By willingly exposing your mind to these possibilities in a controlled, rational way, you drain them of their power to ambush you. The shock value disappears when you have already sat with the idea of being ghosted and visualized yourself responding not with panic or self-recrimination, but with a quiet sigh and a simple, dignified decision to move on. The real event loses its sting. You have already lived through it in your mind and proven to yourself that you can handle it with grace. This is the opposite of anxious worrying. Worry is a chaotic, fearful spiral that weakens you. Negative visualization is a calm, orderly rehearsal that builds resilience. It is the difference between being terrified of a storm and having already practiced your drill, knowing exactly where the safe room is and that you have the supplies to wait it out. Take a breath right now and try it. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Think of a specific dating anxiety you carry. Perhaps it is the fear of a great first date leading nowhere. Now play that scenario out in your mind, not with dread, but with a focus on your own response. See yourself receiving the polite text or the silence. Watch yourself in your mind's eye, acknowledging the disappointment, feeling it fully, and then consciously choosing to release it. You take a walk, you call a friend. You remember your own worth is not determined by this single outcome. You move forward intact and steady. This mental rehearsal forges an emotional immunity. The common frustrations of modern dating no longer throw you off balance because you have already built a foundation of calm acceptance. You meet the chaos not with fragile hope but with proven preparedness. That intense focus on a single text message can feel like the entire world has shrunk to the glow of your phone screen. This is where another profound Stoic tool comes into play, one known as the view from above. It is a mental exercise, a form of meditation, where you deliberately pull your perspective back, far beyond the confines of your immediate worry. Start by picturing the room you are in. Then, in your mind's eye, rise above your building, seeing your neighborhood as a tiny grid of streets. Keep going. See your city as a smudge of light, your country as a shape on the globe, the earth itself as a pale blue dot hanging in the immense black silence of space. Now look back at your life from this cosmic vantage point. That agonizing wait for a reply, that awkward silence on a date, that sting of rejection, where is it now? It is a microscopic event, a fleeting whisper in a lifetime of experiences. This is not meant to minimize your feelings, but to grant them their proper proportion. Your dating life is one single thread in the vast, intricate tapestry of your existence. You are also a friend, a child, a colleague, an artist, a learner, a dreamer. You have passions that ignite you, hobbies that calm you, and a purpose that extends far beyond your relationship status. When you feel overwhelmed by dating drama, practice this zooming out. That person who ghosted you becomes one soul among billions on a planet among countless others, and their choice not to text back loses its power to define your entire week. This perspective shatters the habit of catastrophizing, where one bad date feels like a permanent verdict on your romantic future. It reconnects you with the other sources of meaning that already fill your life. The goal is to see dating for what it is, one part of a rich and multifaceted journey, not the sole source of your happiness. By remembering the view from above, you stop placing the unbearable weight of your entire self-worth on the fragile shoulders of a modern romance. You engage in dating from a place of wholeness because you know with unshakable certainty that you are already complete. Your phone buzzes with a new match, and for a moment, a wave of validation washes over you. That little notification feels like a hit of confirmation, a tiny digital trophy that says you are desirable. But what happens an hour later when the feeling fades, or when that match never sends a message? The high is temporary, and the crash that follows can be devastating. This constant chase for external approval, for likes and matches and compliments, is like building your home on a foundation of sand. Every wave of indifference erodes it further. The Stoics offered a radical alternative, one that constructs your self-worth on the unshakable bedrock of your own character. They taught that your value cannot be found in the opinions, actions, or swipe directions of others. Those are external events completely outside your command, and to tether your happiness to them is to hand over the keys to your inner peace. Your true worth is an internal matter, determined solely by your own intentions and your commitment to living with virtue. Think about the last time you mustered the courage to ask someone out. The modern mindset tells you to judge that action by the result. A yes means you are a success, a no means you are a failure. The Stoic perspective flips this entirely. The victory was not in the answer you received, but in the courage you displayed by putting yourself out there. That act of bravery, that willingness to be vulnerable, is entirely yours. It is a quality you cultivated within yourself, and no one can ever take it away from you regardless of their response. The same applies to kindness. You choose to send a thoughtful, considerate message. The value lies in your choice to be a kind person. Whether the recipient appreciates it, ignores it, or even mocks it, does not diminish the virtue of your action in the slightest. Your integrity remains intact. This is how you build an internal citadel of self-esteem. You stop keeping a mental scoreboard of matches and compliments, and you start a private journal of your own virtuous efforts. Today, I was patient when I felt frustrated. Today, I was honest about my intentions. Today, I treated someone with respect even when it was difficult. These are the deposits you make into your own account of self-worth, and they are investments that no market crash of dating apps can ever devalue. When you operate from this place of internal validation, a profound shift occurs in how you present yourself to the world. You are no longer hungry for approval, so you stop appearing needy. You are not anxiously scanning every interaction for proof of your worth, so you become more present, more genuinely curious about the other person. This quiet confidence, this sense of being already whole, is magnetic. It allows you to connect from a place of abundance, not deficit, and that is the most attractive quality of all. That quiet confidence born from self-worth changes how you see everyone else on the screen. Each profile picture, every brief chat, represents a complete human being with a life as complex and vivid as your own. The Stoics had a profound word for this understanding, sympatheia. It is the belief in the fundamental interconnectedness of all people, the idea that we are all part of a single, rational community. In the often dehumanizing world of modern dating, this concept is a powerful antidote to frustration. When someone suddenly ghosts you after a great conversation, your first reaction might be anger or a sharp sting of personal insult. It feels like a deliberate dismissal of your value, but sympatheia invites you to pause that narrative and look through a wider lens. The person on the other side of that screen is not a dating app robot designed to frustrate you. They are a living person carrying their own unique bundle of fears, past heartbreaks, social anxieties, and private hopes. Perhaps they got scared by how well the conversation was going and retreated out of a fear of intimacy. Maybe they are overwhelmed by personal issues completely unrelated to you. It is even possible they are simply inconsiderate, a behavior that usually stems from their own deep-seated insecurities. This is not about excusing poor behavior, but about understanding its human source. By practicing this empathetic perspective, you disarm the situation. The ghosting is no longer a verdict on your worth, but a reflection of their current state. This shift does not just happen, it is a conscious choice. The next time you feel the heat of frustration rising because someone is flaky or cancels last minute, take a single breath and ask yourself a simple question. What might be happening in their world that could explain this? You do not need to know the true answer. The act of asking the question is what matters. It pulls you out of your own hurt and into a space of compassionate curiosity. This practice transforms your entire experience. A disappointing interaction becomes less of a personal attack and more of a brief, imperfect moment between two flawed humans trying to navigate the same confusing landscape. You stop collecting grievances and start gathering understanding. This does not mean you become a doormat. You can still have firm boundaries and choose to walk away from inconsistent behavior. But you do so with a sense of grace rather than bitterness. Your heart remains light because you have not internalized their actions as a reflection of you. Dating ceases to be a transactional game of winners and losers and becomes a series of genuine, albeit sometimes brief, human connections. Every single person you meet, even for a moment, becomes a reminder of our shared struggle and our common desire to be seen, understood, and valued. And in recognizing that in them, you strengthen it within yourself. The same clarity that allows us to see the humanity in others can also reveal the preciousness of our own limited time. This brings us to a Stoic practice that might sound morbid at first, but is actually one of the most liberating tools for your dating life: memento mori. The Latin phrase translates to "remember you must die." This is not a dark obsession with the end, but a vibrant, urgent call to embrace the present moment with absolute clarity. When you consciously hold the awareness that your time is finite, that this day, this conversation, this chance to connect will not come again, it cuts through the fog of modern dating like a laser. Suddenly, the games lose their appeal. Why would you waste a single evening crafting a vague, cool message designed to hide your interest? Why would you tolerate weeks of ambiguous situationship chatter when you could simply and respectfully ask for the clarity you deserve? Memento mori injects a powerful dose of honesty and urgency into your actions. It asks a single, piercing question that can reshape your entire approach. If you knew for certain that you had only 1 year left to live, how would you date? Would you spend those precious months swiping endlessly out of boredom, or would you seek out conversations that truly matter? Would you stay in a connection that makes you feel small, or would you have the courage to walk away and make space for something genuine? This practice is not about rushing into commitments, but about wasting no time on what does not align with your core values. It gives you the strength to be authentically you right from the start, because there is no time to waste performing a role. It encourages you to express your interest with kindness and confidence, not because you are guaranteed a yes, but because you honor the fleeting opportunity to make a genuine connection. Every moment you spend in ambiguity, every day you tolerate less than you deserve, is a moment of your one wild and precious life that you will never get back. Let that truth be the wind at your back, pushing you toward courage, clarity, and the connections that are truly worth your time. Your inner world is a fortress, and its gates are your own attention. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about this inner citadel, a sanctuary of reason and calm that you must actively defend against the chaos of the outside world. In modern dating, this is not a metaphor, it is a survival skill. The constant barrage of notifications, the pressure to always be available, the temptation to overanalyze every punctuation mark in a text, these are all invaders at your gate. Your first duty is to protect the peace within. This begins with the simple, radical act of setting boundaries with the very tools designed to break them. Decide that your phone does not belong in your bedroom, that you will not open a dating app until after your morning routine is complete. This small act reclaims your mental space. It declares that your day will not begin with the anxiety of seeking external validation. The same principle applies to your interactions. When a conversation turns disrespectful, when someone uses sarcasm as a weapon or dismisses your feelings, your duty is not to win the argument, but to protect your citadel. You can disengage with a simple, clear statement. This is not working for me, and I am going to step away now. This is not rudeness, it is the highest form of self-respect. It is the act of closing the gate to preserve the tranquility inside. Protecting your peace is often mistaken for being selfish or cold. In reality, it is the most generous thing you can do for a future partner. You cannot pour from an empty cup. By guarding your inner citadel from the daily drama, you ensure that when you do meet someone worthwhile, you are not a drained, anxious shell of a person. You are a whole, grounded individual capable of offering your full attention and your best self. A relationship built by two people who each protect their own peace is a fortress with two strong walls, a partnership that can withstand any storm. You have done your part with integrity, and now the outcome is no longer your burden to carry. This is the essence of the Stoic reserve clause, a principle that transforms how you engage in every aspect of dating. The reserve clause is a mental footnote you add to every action you take. It means you pour your full effort into an endeavor. You do your absolute best while whispering to yourself a simple phrase, fate permitting. In practice, this looks like crafting a thoughtful, personalized message to someone you are genuinely interested in. You put care into your words, you are kind, you are authentic. That is your 100%. The reserve clause is the quiet understanding that you have zero control over whether they will reply or how they will reply. You can plan a wonderful date, choosing a place that allows for real conversation. You can be fully present, listening intently and sharing openly. That is your entire job. The reserve clause is the internal acceptance that you cannot manufacture a spark or guarantee a second invitation. This mindset is the ultimate antidote to desperation. When you are not attached to a specific result, you are free to be your best self. You are not performing for a reward, you are acting from your character. Think of an artist who pours their soul into a painting. Their satisfaction comes from the act of creation itself, from the skill and passion they expressed. Whether the painting sells for a fortune or is quietly stored away does not change the virtue of their effort. The same is true for you on a date. Your victory is in your own conduct, in your courage to be vulnerable, in your kindness, in your presence. If the connection flourishes, that is a beautiful gift. If it does not, you can look back with zero regret, knowing you left nothing on the table. You showed up fully, and the rest was not up to you. This honest detachment is not cold, it is profoundly peaceful. It allows you to engage in the chaotic dance of modern dating with a steady heart, doing your best and then gracefully letting the universe handle the rest. The people you allow into your life inevitably shape the person you become. This is not just a casual observation, it is a core tenet of Stoic wisdom, one that Seneca wrote about with great urgency. He warned that we are like a piece of coal in a fire. We cannot brush against soot without being stained ourselves. In the context of modern dating, this principle becomes your most crucial filter. Your task shifts from simply finding someone you enjoy to consciously seeking someone of good character. Character is the bedrock, the one element that determines whether a connection will build you up or slowly erode your spirit. It is far more important than a shared taste in music or a witty banter. You must become a detective of virtue, looking past the charming smile and the exciting stories to assess the fundamental quality of their soul. How do they speak about their former partners, with bitterness or with respect? How do they treat the server at a cafe or the stranger who accidentally bumps into them? Do they take responsibility for their mistakes, or do they have a ready-made excuse for every failure? These are not minor details, they are windows into their moral fiber. A person who is consistently negative, who gossips relentlessly, or who shows disrespect to those they perceive as beneath them, is showing you who they are. These are the red flags that signal a poor character, and the Stoic advice is clear: do not ignore them for the sake of a fleeting spark. This is about shifting your entire selection criteria. Instead of asking, "Is this person fun and exciting?" you start asking a more profound question: "Is this person good?" Good as defined by their integrity, their kindness, their empathy, and their fundamental decency. A relationship with a person of good character is a sanctuary. It is a place where you feel safe to be vulnerable, where conflicts are navigated with respect, and where you are both committed to each other's growth. Your peace of mind is too precious to be entrusted to anyone whose character you have reason to doubt. Choosing your company wisely is the ultimate act of self-respect and the surest path to a connection that not only feels good but is good for you. That inner citadel of peace is fortified not through comfort, but through deliberate, chosen hardship. The Stoics called this voluntary discomfort, a practice that trains you for life's inevitable difficulties by willingly embracing small challenges. In the world of dating, this is your secret weapon for building an unshakable core. It is about periodically stepping away from the very things you might cling to for security, to prove to yourself that you are perfectly fine without them. This is not about punishing yourself, but about building a profound form of emotional muscle memory. Imagine taking a scheduled break from all dating apps for one full week. At first, you might feel a twinge of anxiety, a reflex to check for notifications. But as the days pass, you rediscover the quiet joy of a Saturday morning with no agenda, the deep focus you can give to a book, or the genuine laughter with friends without the distraction of a phone in your hand. You are practicing being a complete, interesting person on your own, and that practice pays dividends when you return to dating. You are no longer scrolling out of boredom or a desperate need for connection, but from a place of genuine curiosity. Another powerful exercise is to deliberately engage in activities you would normally do with a partner completely alone. Go see that new movie by yourself. Take yourself out to a nice dinner at that restaurant you have been wanting to try. Sit at the bar, order your favorite meal, and simply observe the world around you. This trains you to enjoy your own company, to be your own source of entertainment and validation. The fear of being alone, which often drives people to settle for mediocre relationships, loses its grip on you because you have tangible proof that being alone is not a sentence to misery. It can be a source of strength and contentment. You can even practice voluntary discomfort within your dates. Challenge yourself to have a first meeting at a coffee shop instead of a bar. Remove the social lubricant of alcohol and rely solely on your own conversational skills and authentic personality. This builds a different kind of confidence, one that is clear-eyed and self-reliant. Each of these small acts is a brick in the foundation of your resilience. You are proactively teaching your nervous system that you can handle discomfort, that you can thrive in silence, and that your happiness is an internal project, not an external rescue mission. When you know deep in your bones that you are complete on your own, you stop approaching potential partners from a place of neediness. You stop clinging to connections that are not right for you simply because you are afraid of the alternative. You become a dater who chooses rather than one who simply hopes to be chosen. A poorly worded text message can feel like a verdict on someone's entire character. We instantly label them as inconsiderate or unintelligent, and a single awkward pause on a date becomes proof of a fundamental lack of chemistry. The Stoics identified this very habit, the rush to judgment, as the primary source of our inner turmoil. Epictetus taught that we are disturbed not by events themselves, but by the judgments we form about them. In the lightning-fast world of dating, where we are constantly scanning for red flags and signs of compatibility, this ancient warning is more relevant than ever. That moment you see a profile picture you do not find immediately attractive, your mind delivers a swift and silent judgment, a verdict of no. When someone uses an emoji you find irritating, you might mentally write them off. Each of these snap judgments is a tiny emotional disturbance, a flicker of frustration or disappointment that you inflict upon yourself. The practice then is to consciously suspend that verdict. It is to notice the automatic thought and deliberately choose not to endorse it. Instead of deciding a person is boring because their first message was simple, you grant them the space of a real conversation. Instead of interpreting a delayed reply as a sign of disinterest, you entertain a dozen other harmless possibilities. Maybe they are in a meeting, or their phone died, or they are simply thinking carefully about how to respond. This is not about being naive or ignoring genuine red flags. It is about gathering sufficient evidence before you deliver the final sentence in the court of your own mind. The benefit is twofold. First, you become a fairer judge of character, allowing people the grace to reveal their true selves over time, beyond a single misstep or a poorly chosen word. You might discover that the person with the seemingly bland profile is profoundly thoughtful, or that the one who used that annoying emoji has a wonderfully kind heart. But the second, and perhaps more important benefit, is the peace you grant yourself. When you stop constantly judging others, you simultaneously free yourself from the exhausting feeling of being judged. You stop imagining that every silence is a critique and every minor social misstep is being catalogued against you. This suspension of judgment cultivates a deep patience and open-mindedness that makes the entire process feel less like a high-stakes evaluation and more like a series of genuine human encounters. You approach each new connection not with a checklist and a gavel, but with curiosity, giving both them and yourself the generous gift of a second look. A rigid checklist can be the very barrier that separates you from a life-changing connection. The Stoics championed an idea far more expansive, an ideal known as cosmopolitanism. This is the profound belief that we are all citizens of a single world, members of the same universal community, bound not by nationality or social status, but by our shared capacity for reason and virtue. When you bring this perspective into your dating life, it transforms the entire landscape. Suddenly, the filters you might have set for a specific income, a particular cultural background, or a certain lifestyle begin to feel incredibly small. These are external markers, the surface-level details that dating apps are designed to prioritize. Cosmopolitanism invites you to look past the profile and see the person. It asks you to consider the quality of their character above the specifics of their biography. Perhaps someone grew up in a country you have never visited, or they work in a field you know nothing about. The modern dating instinct might be to swipe left, fearing a lack of common ground, but the Stoic mindset sees this as an opportunity. You are not just meeting a potential partner, you are encountering another human soul on the same fundamental journey toward understanding and happiness. Your shared ground is not a list of hobbies, but the deeper soil of universal human experience, the desire for respect, the capacity for kindness, the search for meaning. This is how you break the algorithm's hold. You consciously choose to be surprised. You go on a date with someone whose life looks nothing like yours on paper, and you engage with a truly open heart. You ask genuine questions not to check boxes, but to understand their unique perspective on the world. You might discover that their different background has given them a resilience or a wisdom that resonates deeply with your own values. Or you might simply share a wonderful conversation that expands your view of humanity, leaving you enriched regardless of romantic outcome. By practicing this cosmopolitan openness, you are not lowering your standards, you are raising your vision. You are trading a narrow, prefabricated checklist for the vast, unpredictable, and infinitely more interesting terrain of the human heart. Every new person becomes a doorway to a world you have not yet seen, and every date becomes a chance to reaffirm your place in the beautiful, messy, and interconnected human family. The search for a partner is often fueled by a quiet, desperate belief that they hold the final piece to your happiness. You imagine your life as a puzzle, nearly complete, waiting for that one special person to slot into place and make the whole picture finally make sense. Stoicism shatters this illusion with a radical and far more empowering truth. The ancient Stoics called the goal of life eudaimonia, a profound state of flourishing and contentment that arises from one source alone, living in accordance with virtue. This fulfillment is an inside job built brick by brick through your own choices and actions. It cannot be handed to you by another person. To believe a relationship will complete you is to build your home on someone else's land, always at risk of being evicted. The healthy alternative is to build a life so rich and meaningful on your own that a partner becomes a welcome guest in your already beautiful home, not the foundation holding it up. This shift from completion to addition changes everything. How do you actually build this self-contained happiness? It starts with a daily practice of gratitude. Before you even get out of bed, name 3 simple things you are thankful for that have nothing to do with your relationship status. The warmth of the sun through the window, the smell of coffee brewing, the reliable purr of a cat. This practice trains your brain to spot the abundance that already exists in your life. Next, pour yourself into meaningful work, not just a job, but any activity that uses your unique skills and makes you feel engaged and purposeful. It could be writing, gardening, volunteering, or building something with your hands. Nurture your friendships with intention. These platonic bonds are the pillars of your support system, offering laughter, perspective, and unconditional acceptance. And finally, engage deeply in hobbies for the sheer joy of it, not because they might make you more interesting on a dating profile. Learn to play an instrument, hike a new trail, or lose yourself in a novel. When you actively cultivate these sources of joy, a remarkable transformation occurs. You stop emitting the subtle energy of neediness that can repel healthy partners. Instead, you carry a quiet magnetism, the confidence of someone who is already living a full life. You no longer enter relationships out of a desperate fear of being alone, but from a genuine desire to share your abundance with someone who complements it. You choose a partner not to fix your life, but to celebrate it with you. Every word you send into the digital ether is a test of your character. Epictetus, the Stoic teacher who was born a slave, gave a simple but demanding command: we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. In the world of modern dating, where communication is often reduced to fleeting text messages and abbreviated replies, this ancient wisdom is your guide to standing out and building something real. Your words are not just tools for arranging meetings, they are the primary means of expressing your virtue. Each message is a choice. Will you use your speech and your thumbs with purpose and kindness, or will you add to the noise and confusion? Mindful communication begins with a simple pause before you hit send. In that moment, ask yourself a Stoic question: is this message both true and necessary? Is it kind? A text that says, "I had a nice time last night," is pleasant but vague. A message that says, "I really enjoyed our conversation about your project. It was inspiring to hear you talk about it with so much passion," is specific, sincere, and kind. It shows you were truly listening. This clarity cuts through the ambiguity that plagues modern connections. It means having the courage to be direct about your intentions in a way that is respectful, not demanding. Instead of ghosting someone because you are not feeling a connection, a simple and kind message honors the brief human interaction you shared. It might say, "Thank you for taking the time to meet. I did not feel a romantic spark, but I truly wish you the best in your search." This act, while difficult, is a practice in virtue. It treats the other person as a fellow human being deserving of basic respect, not as a disposable profile. It is also an act of self-respect, reinforcing your own commitment to honesty. The same principle applies to how you speak about others. Stoicism warns strongly against gossip. Venting to a friend about a bad date by cruelly mocking the other person might feel cathartic in the moment, but it is a poison. It stains your own character with negativity and bitterness. It trains your mind to focus on judgment and fault-finding, rather than on understanding and moving on. The mindful alternative is to process your disappointment by focusing on the facts and your own feelings, without assassinating someone else's character. This extends to your listening. On a date, are you truly listening to understand the person in front of you? Or are you simply waiting for your turn to talk, rehearsing your next witty remark? Stoic listening means giving someone your full attention, asking thoughtful questions that delve deeper than the surface, and creating a space where they feel heard and valued. This quality of presence is rare and deeply attractive. It communicates that you are interested in their inner world, not just their curated exterior. When you express appreciation, let it be sincere and specific. Anyone can say, "You are beautiful," but telling someone, "The way your eyes light up when you talk about your family is beautiful," connects your appreciation to a genuine observation. This is how trust is built, brick by brick, through consistent, honest, and kind communication. It transforms the chaotic dating landscape from a source of anxiety into a practice ground for your own integrity, where every single word becomes an opportunity to live your philosophy. The words you choose shape the world you see. A single disappointing date can cast a long shadow, coloring your entire outlook with a grim shade of scarcity. It whispers the old, familiar lie that there are no good people left, that you are running out of time, that every failed connection is a step closer to being alone. Stoicism offers a direct antidote to this poison, a daily practice that can fundamentally rewire your perception of the entire dating journey: gratitude. This is not a vague, feel-good concept, but a disciplined habit of finding the gift in every single interaction, especially the ones that sting. The shift is from asking, "What did I lose?" to asking, "What did I gain?" That person who faded away after 3 great dates did not just leave you with silence. They gave you a few hours of enjoyable conversation, a reminder of your own capacity for laughter, and a crucial piece of data about the kind of consistency you truly need. Be grateful for the clarity. The awkward first meeting that went nowhere still offered you a chance to practice your social skills, to share a small piece of your story, and to exercise kindness toward someone who was likely just as nervous as you. Be grateful for the practice. Even the painful breakup, the one that felt like an ending, gifted you with resilience, self-knowledge, and the unwavering certainty of what you will never tolerate again. Be grateful for the strength you did not know you had. This is how you transform a landscape of lack into a world of abundance. Every conversation, every swipe, every coffee date becomes a teacher, bringing you one lesson closer to the connection you are meant to find. To make this shift tangible, start a simple dating gratitude journal. It does not need to be elaborate, just a few lines in the Notes app on your phone. After every single dating interaction, no matter how minor, write down one specific positive thing. Do not just write, "Had a nice date." Be precise. Grateful for the way he listened so intently when I talked about my work. Grateful for her fascinating stories about traveling through South America. Grateful for the reminder that I value punctuality, even when my date was 20 minutes late. Grateful for the freedom I feel now that situationship is over. This small act of nightly reflection is a powerful neural exercise. You are training your brain like a muscle to actively scan for the good, to find the hidden value in the rubble of modern romance. Over time, you stop seeing yourself as a victim of a harsh dating world and start seeing yourself as an active student in your own life, collecting wisdom and grace with every single step. The journey itself ceases to be a stressful means to an end and becomes a valuable, gift-filled process. The endless scroll of faces can trick you into believing love is a game of infinite options. We fall into the trap of thinking that with so many profiles to swipe, the perfect person must be just one more refresh away. This is the paradox of choice, where an abundance of possibility paralyzes your ability to choose anything at all. The Stoic philosopher Seneca offers a powerful antidote to this modern anxiety with a simple question: what is sufficient? He wrote extensively about the value of a simple life, not as a life of poverty, but as a life free from the endless hunger for more. Apply this to your search for a partner, and it becomes a revolutionary act. Knowing what is sufficient means drawing a clear, unwavering line around the few core qualities that are truly essential for a shared life of happiness and virtue. It is not about finding someone who checks every box on a fantasy list, someone who is perfectly witty, incredibly successful, athletically gifted, and artistically talented. That is a recipe for perpetual dissatisfaction, because no human being can ever be an idealized collection of traits. A sufficient partner is one who possesses the fundamental virtues that allow a relationship to flourish: deep integrity, a capacity for kindness, and a foundation of mutual respect. When you have clearly defined this non-negotiable core, the entire landscape of dating shifts. You stop swiping with a hungry, searching eye, endlessly comparing each new profile to an impossible standard. Instead, you move with purpose. You recognize a good partner not because they are perfect, but because they are good. You can appreciate the quiet strength of their character, the reliability of their word, the warmth of their empathy. The grass is not always greener on the other side of the app. It is greenest where you choose to water it. This mindset is what allows real commitment to take root. When you are no longer haunted by the ghost of a potentially better match, you can fully invest in the genuine, imperfect, and beautiful human being right in front of you. You trade the exhausting pursuit of a phantom for the profound satisfaction of building something real with someone whose soul is sufficient for yours. The pressure for a first date to be perfect can crush the magic before it even begins. You sit across the table, but your mind is a decade in the future, already writing a story about marriage and children, or just as destructively scripting a painful ending. This frantic projection into the unknown is a heavy burden to carry into a simple cup of coffee. Stoicism offers a profound release from this weight with its clear-eyed acceptance of a universal truth: nothing lasts. Every single thing in life, from a fleeting emotion to a centuries-old empire, is in a state of constant change. Your feelings, their feelings, this very moment, all are transient. This is not a pessimistic outlook, but a liberating one. When you deeply internalize that this connection, like all things, may or may not endure, you are gifted an incredible freedom. You are freed from the need to control an outcome that is fundamentally uncontrollable. This understanding allows you to fully inhabit the present. Instead of mentally interviewing this person for the role of your future spouse, you can simply engage with the human being in front of you. You listen to their stories not for clues to their long-term potential, but with genuine curiosity about their experience right now. You share your own thoughts not as a carefully crafted audition, but as an authentic expression of who you are in this moment. The date ceases to be a high-stakes evaluation and becomes a shared human experience, valuable for its own sake. The connection becomes something to be appreciated for exactly what it is today, whether that is a spark of intellectual chemistry, a shared laugh, or simply a pleasant hour of conversation. This mindset infuses your interactions with a palpable lightness. When you are not clinging to a specific future, you can be more playful, more open, more genuinely yourself. The other person feels this lack of pressure, and it creates a space where something real can actually grow, organically and without force. Embracing impermanence does not mean you avoid commitment. It means you enter into it with clear eyes and a full heart, cherishing each day as it comes rather than trying to mortgage a future that does not yet exist. This is how you find the courage to truly enjoy the beautiful, fragile, and perfectly imperfect present. Every meaningful connection begins with the person you see in the mirror. For too long, the entire quest has been focused outward, a constant search for the right person who will finally make you happy. But Stoicism turns this entire dynamic on its head with a single, powerful command. Your primary duty is not to find the right person, but to become the right person. This is the core of Stoic virtue in action, a shift from passive judgment to active self-cultivation. Instead of scanning every profile for red flags, your most important work is to ensure you are not flying one yourself. What does it truly mean to be an excellent partner? It is not about having a perfect life or an impressive list of achievements. It is about the daily, quiet cultivation of character. It means being the kind of person who is deeply loyal, not just when it is easy, but when it is difficult. It means practicing a radical honesty that is both kind and clear, even when it feels vulnerable. It is about being genuinely supportive, celebrating your partner's successes as if they were your own, and offering a steady hand during their struggles without trying to immediately fix everything. And it requires being a clear and compassionate communicator, someone who listens to understand, not just to reply. This is the real work, and it happens long before you ever meet someone special. It happens in how you treat your friends, your family, and even strangers. It is built in the small, unseen moments where you choose patience over irritation, generosity over selfishness, and integrity over convenience. So pause for a moment and ask yourself a question that cuts to the core of this principle. Are you the kind of person your ideal partner would be excited to build a life with? If you dream of someone who is kind, reliable, and emotionally available, you must first embody those very qualities yourself. This is not about perfection, but about direction. Are you moving toward becoming a more virtuous person, or are you waiting for someone to arrive and inspire you to start? When you make this internal shift, something remarkable happens in the external world. You stop emitting a desperate energy of neediness and begin radiating a quiet confidence that is inherently attractive. By focusing relentlessly on your own excellence, you naturally raise your standards for the company you keep. You become a magnet for people who are also doing their own work, who value character over charm and substance over surface. You stop attracting projects and start attracting partners. The foundation you build within yourself, brick by brick with every virtuous choice, becomes the very same foundation upon which a healthy, lasting, and truly fulfilling relationship can finally be built. Your choices in love should never be a performance for an invisible audience. There is a profound Stoic principle that directly confronts the noise of the world, advising us to be indifferent to the opinions of the many. This is not about becoming arrogant or dismissive, but about recognizing a simple, liberating truth. The applause of the crowd is as fickle as the wind, and building your life upon it is a recipe for deep discontent. In dating, this external pressure manifests in so many subtle ways. You might feel a quiet urge to choose a partner who looks impressive in photos together, someone whose job title or lifestyle will earn approving nods from your friends or your family. You might stay in a relationship that looks perfect from the outside, simply because ending it would mean admitting failure to your social circle. Or you might feel the relentless pressure of social media, curating your dates and your relationship milestones to project an image of happiness and success, all while feeling hollow inside. This is dating for an audience, and it is a sure path to losing yourself. The Stoics remind us that the only opinion of your life that truly matters is your own, because you are the one who must live with the consequences of your choices. A relationship chosen to please your parents or to fit in with your friends is a borrowed life, one that will never truly fit. The person you bring home may win everyone's approval, but if their character does not align with your deepest values, you are the one who will lie awake at night feeling the quiet ache of misalignment. The goal is to make choices that lead to your own flourishing, your eudaimonia, not to collect likes on a post. The next time you are considering a potential partner, pause and ask yourself a clarifying question. If no one else ever knew about this relationship, if there were no photos to post, no announcements to make, no one to impress, would I still want this? Would this person's presence in my private life, with all their beautiful imperfections, genuinely contribute to my peace and my growth? The answer to that question cuts through the noise of the world and connects you back to your own inner compass. Choosing for yourself is the ultimate act of sovereignty in your romantic life. It ensures that any connection you form is a genuine meeting of hearts, not a transaction for social validation. When you stop performing for an audience, you finally become free to build a love that is authentically and uniquely your own. Our deepest longings are not the problem, but where we aim them. The Stoics named this the discipline of desire, a practice of consciously directing your powerful wants toward what is genuinely good and within your power. In the landscape of modern romance, this is a revolutionary act. It means training yourself to desire a partnership built on mutual respect and shared virtue more intensely than you crave the dizzying high of a new infatuation or the constant drip of validation from a screen. The initial spark of attraction is a natural, beautiful energy, but an undisciplined desire will pour all of that fuel onto a fleeting flame, burning bright and fast until nothing is left but ashes. The disciplined approach is to take that very same energy, that same passion, and channel it into a calm, rational assessment of character. Instead of just feeling a thrilling chemistry, you use that excitement to fuel a deeper curiosity. You find yourself passionately wanting to know if this person is kind when they are tired, if they are honest when it is difficult, if their values provide a foundation you could actually build a life upon. This reframes the entire search. You are no longer a passive consumer hoping to be struck by a lightning bolt of feeling, but an active architect using the power of your own desire to construct something durable. The common trap is to pursue relationships that are emotionally exciting but fundamentally unstable. The dramatic roller coasters that feel like love but are really just a cycle of anxiety and relief. The discipline of desire is your compass out of that maze. It asks you to question your own cravings. Do you desire this person because they make you feel seen and valued, or because their intermittent attention creates an addictive loop of uncertainty? Are you drawn to the passionate intensity or to the quiet peace you feel in their presence? By aligning your wants with what is truly good, you naturally gravitate away from chaotic connections and toward those that offer both a warm ember of passion and the profound, steady comfort of peace. You stop chasing the storm and start building a shelter, one wise desire at a time. Your dating life is not something that happens to you, it is something you build one deliberate choice at a time. This is the final and perhaps the most empowering Stoic answer. The philosophy teaches that your life is the sum of your choices, and this truth echoes powerfully in every corner of modern romance. You are not a passive passenger on a chaotic app algorithm, buffeted by the winds of bad luck and other people's whims. You are the architect. Every single action, from the moment you decide to open the app to the way you respond to a disappointing message, is a brick you are placing in the foundation of your experience. You choose who to swipe right on, not out of boredom, but with the intention of seeking good character. You choose the words in your messages, infusing them with kindness and clarity rather than vague pleasantries. You choose the boundaries that protect your peace, deciding what treatment you will accept and what you will calmly walk away from. And when a connection proves to be misaligned with your virtues, you choose to end it with honesty and grace. This active participation is your power. It transforms you from a victim of the modern dating world into its conscious creator. All the previous Stoic answers we have explored, from focusing on what you can control to building your internal worth, are the tools for this great work. They are the blueprint and the level, the compass and the square. When you apply them consistently, you are no longer reacting to the chaos. You are designing a structure that can withstand it. You are building a dating life defined not by anxiety and desperation, but by a profound sense of calm and purpose. Every swipe becomes a statement of your values. Every date becomes an opportunity to practice your virtue. Every goodbye becomes an act of self-respect. The sum of these choices is a romantic journey that is authentically and unshakably your own. We have walked through 25 ancient answers to modern confusion, from the foundational distinction of what you control to the liberating practice of memento mori. These are not quick fixes or manipulative tricks to win a game, but timeless tools to forge an unshakable inner peace. The ultimate goal was never to guarantee a specific outcome, to ensure a match or a second date. The goal has always been to cultivate a profound integrity that guides you, step by step, toward connections that are not just exciting, but truly healthy and deeply meaningful. This is not a philosophy you need to master all at once. The most powerful way to begin is to choose just one of these principles, the one that resonated most deeply with you in this moment, and carry it with you into the week ahead. Perhaps it is the simple act of focusing only on your own honest effort, or the courageous practice of embracing every outcome as a necessary lesson. Whatever you choose, practice it with gentle consistency. Notice how it shifts your perspective, how it lightens the weight of expectation, how it allows you to show up as a more grounded and authentic version of yourself. I would love to hear which Stoic answer became your anchor. Share it in the comments below, and if this journey has brought you a new sense of clarity, consider subscribing for more wisdom to navigate all of life's challenges with a steady heart and a clear mind.